Part 2, Chapter 3. January, February, March. All through those months, I felt as if I were stuck in mud. Guys had stopped showing up at the park, so the flag football games had fallen apart. The days were short, rainy, and cold, and I was sick of Lowell Middle School, sick of the teachers and the buildings and the kids. The only person I wasn't sick of was Drew. He and I had had our eyes fixed on spring football since the day Middleton had clued us in about Trahane. I thought about spring football all the time, and I'd bet anything Drew did too. But through those months, we never talked about it. May seemed a long way off, and neither of us wanted to jinx anything. When April came, though, spring football was all we talked about. I was sure Drew would be invited, and I told him so. He had size and strength, and he was a natural leader. Even in the flag football games, playing with older kids, Drew took command of the huddle. Once I'd gone through all the reasons that he was a lock to get invited, he'd do the same for me. You've got speed and power, Mick, and you know the game so much better than anyone. You see things other people don't. I wish my dad had taught me half of what you learned from yours. You've got the football IQ of Einstein. When I was with him, when we were talking, I'd feel good about my chances. But when I was alone, all I could remember were the plays I'd screwed up. It was the last Monday in April. I was just about to head off to Crown Hill Park when the phone rang. I picked it up, pencil in hand, ready to take a message from my mom or my dad. "This is Mr. Downs, head football coach at Shies Hole High," the voice said. "Is this Mick Johnson at home?" My heart was thumping. "This is Mick Johnson." "Mick, Mr. Trahane watched your Pop Warner football team off and on in the fall. Maybe you were aware of that." "Yes," I said. Sort of." I stopped, confused. "Well, Mr. Trahane tells me you're a promising player. Mr. Rooney says your attitude and practice habits are good. We start spring football here at Shies Hole High next week. I'd like you to participate. I want to be clear, though. This invitation doesn't mean you are on the varsity. It just means you're working with the varsity. How's that sound?" "That sounds great," I said, my mouth so dry I could hardly talk. "That sounds tremendous." He laughed. "All right, then. You know where the school is?" "Sure, I know. What time?" 3:15. See you there." "Coach Downs," I said before he could hang up, "did Mr. Trahane tell you about Drew Carney? He was our quarterback and—" "Yes, I know all about Drew. I'll be calling him today, too." I hung up the phone and sat, staring straight ahead. I was going to get my chance. Again, more of a transition chapter here. Mick can't wait to leave middle school and go into high school, and he gets that call from the head football coach at Shies Hole High saying that he has been invited out to spring football, and so has Drew.